Welcome to the finish line with So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and today I would like to get this little quilt top quilted. Now, I do want to do it on my home sewing machine, and I also want to do some ruler work. So we can do some ruler work on our home machine as long as we have the right foot and the right ruler. When we're quilting using a ruler, we do need to have a special foot. This foot has a larger area on it, and that area is designed so that it runs along these special rulers and that it doesn't hop over top of the rulers. We can get these feet for any one of our domestic machines. This particular one is foot 72 for my Bernina, and it is an adjustable foot. That little brass screw I can turn, and it's going to adjust that thickness running along that fabric. So if I have a thicker quilt, I'm able to move it up. If I have a thinner quilt, I'm able to move it down. But regardless how we adjust this, it's important that we use that proper ruler. The foot is a 1/4 inch foot, which means from the center of that circle where the needle will go inside to the out edge is a 1/4 inch. So it's a 1/4 inch all the way around from that center mark. So as long as we are running along any side of that ruler, we are going to have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Let's go to the machine and it'll all make sense once we get it all set up and we get going. So that 1/4 inch measurement is from this point over, and it's over in all of the directions. So from the center to this outside edge. So when this edge follows the edge of a ruler, that is going to be a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So for this quilt, I will be stitching a 1/4 inch over from all of my seams. Stitching over that 1/4 inch is definitely a lot easier than stitching right in that ditch. So we're going to do a 1/4 inch, stopping, moving back up all the way around. So let's start on this outside so you can see where that 1/4 inch is going to work. Because this is that 1/4 inch, I'm going to be able to use this foot to line up that 1/4 inch. See, I have an edge here, and that edge there is following right along. So I know that I'm in that perfect 1/4 inch. So I'm going to pull those threads up, put the needle back in that position, and now I'm going to use the edge of this ruler. The edge of my ruler will go right along the edge of my stitching. And that way, the edge of this foot will follow the edge of the ruler. I don't need to worry about trying to keep a same line. This is going to keep it for me. My feed dogs are dropped. Everything is the same. I'm just using the edge of this ruler and the edge of this foot and gliding it over. So we just need to put a firm hold onto this ruler and glide that all the way, and just keep stitching until we come to a mark, which is going to be the 1/4 inch. So I've stopped here and I've stopped there. I can turn that ruler, follow that edge right there where that seam is, and continue. I have 2 areas now that can help me decide where to stop. Number 1, the edge, and I happen to have a seam. So I'm just going to rotate that ruler, make sure that it just goes right against that foot, and go back down. So I am moving the fabric because the feed dogs are down. From here, I can go to my next spot. The next section I'm going to do is this corner. So I can start anywhere as long as that foot is lined up to that edge. I did pull both those threads to the top. I like to use gloves. Make sure that ruler is right up against the edge and stitch. Turn the ruler and continue. So I'm going to be able to constantly just move that ruler and follow that stitching edge. And you can always backstitch if you don't want to tie it off. You will find that some rulers have this little hook or this cutout on the end. That is going to help you stop at 1/4 inch. So in this case, I can have that little edge fit along both of those edges of stitching. As my foot comes over, this is going to make it stop in that 1/4 inch position. So I can't go any farther because it is stopping me. Now I can rotate and use that little step or the little lip on another corner. When we're doing ruler work quilting, we do not need to turn the fabric. We are turning the ruler so that that foot follows the ruler. We don't need to turn that fabric. And that's going to save us a lot of time. We do not always have to put the ruler right on the edge of the sewing. We can use some of the lines that are imprinted in the ruler. For example, this line down the center is 1 inch. So that seam will be 1 1/4. I'm going to continue, and this time go around the inside of these points. And I will know where to stop because I do have a seam. I'm not twisting the fabric, I'm twisting the ruler. I've gone all the way around once. I'm going to go again and use a marking on the ruler following that seam line. So I'm going to be making a star inside. And I can do as many as I want until I get to that center point. Now that all of those points are done, we're going to move to that border. I'm going to use that ruler and stitch down the center and stop right in that corner. I'm going to continue and move that ruler and just do straight lines all the way around the outside. And that little quilt top will then be done. So this was all done with straight lines, just following the edge of that seam. This is going to be turned into a pillow. They're going to put a nice big button here in the center. So that's going to hide, well, that just a little bit imperfection. The border has some nice stripes in it. And even though we're not going to see the back, because it is in a pillow, it does look nice. Be sure to get the right foot for your machine. It has to have that nice fat lip in it so that it can run along the rulers. And you can get these rulers in so many different shapes and sizes. Straight, curved, and even wiggly jigglies all over the place. Working on a UFO block or a block that maybe is not as perfect as you'd like it to be is a great way to practice this ruler work. Don't concentrate so much on keeping those stitches all the same size. Just work on getting the feel of using those rulers. Those stitch lengths are going to come in time. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. I do hope you try ruler work on your domestic machine. It is a lot of fun. It's quick, it's easy, and you just get to follow the straight line. Thanks again for joining me. Bye for now.